And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, standing 6 feet even, weighing in officially 170 pounds. Fighting out of Dayton, Ohio, here is Chris, the Card Collector West.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? That looks crooked as fuck. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Chris here, Mayce Collectibles. Welcome back to Wednesday, December the 8th, coming at you this morning for the second Mayce UFC Card Show. Today we got a lot to cover, folks. Make sure you stay with me. There's a lot of important information coming out. I've got a lot of important information for you, especially if you like giveaways, trivia, things like that. You're going to want to stick around. Hey, thanks to everybody who came out on, what was that, Monday night for trivia number 11. That was absolutely a blast. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people came out, gave away a lot of stuff. So please make sure, if you have not been to trivia, I highly recommend you stop by Mayce Collectibles Trivia. All right, before we go any further, I don't want to forget, on the first card show, we gave away this Khamzat Chimaev rookie and this Khabib Nurmagomedov pink ticket. And we will show the giveaway winners for that right now. So there you go, congratulations, thanks for participating, and make sure y'all stick around. In this video, we're going to be up in the ante a little bit on today's giveaway. So I'm in Ohio, and it's finally, winter has finally decided to set in. Woke up to snow this morning. It is cold as hell outside, but we're prepared. We're in here, we got coffee, and we've got shit to do. All right, we covered that. Hey, new schedule coming up. Please take note of this. Typically, we've always done trivia on Monday nights. And I know in the last video, I said that I was going to be doing the card show on Wednesdays and Fridays. That is going to change. From here on out, Mayce Trivia, UFC Trivia will be on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights, okay? And then the card show is going to be every Monday and Friday. So every Monday and Friday will be the UFC card show. And every other Tuesday will be trivia. Hopefully that makes sense. Working on fixing up the website now. It's pretty outdated, macecollectibles.com. I'm gonna revamp that so that it has current information. So if y'all ever have any questions when the next break is, trivia, show, etc., you can just go on there. I'll also be putting like upcoming stuff that's coming up on there. Because look, we're trying to grow this thing. I don't anticipate just kind of cruising through this. I want to grow this. I want to kind of expand in our ideas and what we cover and what we do and how we do things. And eventually I'd like to get fighters on here and be interviewing some of the athletes for y'all. I think that would be great. So looking forward to that. Let's see here. Okay, trivia part 2. We had part 1 for the holiday trivia this past Monday, like I said, and boy, was it. I'm telling you. The Mega Bounty was hit again. That's 2 consecutive times in a row that the Mega Bounty has been hit. Shout out to Jay Coco and shout out to Cedric for picking up those nice prizes. But Trivia Part 2 is going to be the 21st of December, folks. The 21st of December, that should be a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December the 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me right here live on YouTube for the part 2 of the Mayce Collectibles UFC Trivia. This camera has actually 2 lenses like the iPhone. I don't know which one to look at. So if I look like I'm looking away from the camera, my apologies. I should probably sort that out. Really, I need to get somebody in here. I need like a guy or a gal who does this kind of shit, like the production side of things. That would help a lot. But for now, we'll work with what we have. Let's see. So trivia part 2, 21 December, Friday the 17th. Okay, here's a big announcement for you. You guys want a big announcement? Here's a big announcement. Friday the 17th of December, that is like, what? 1 week from this Friday, there will be no MMA show. There will be no UFC card MMA show. We are going to be doing the member draft for 2021 UFC Chronicles Hobby Box. What does that mean, you ask me? Well, let me tell you. Everybody who has been a channel member of my channel since, we'll say, we'll write it through the end of this week. No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to just cut it off right here. Everybody who is currently, at the time of watching this video, a channel member for Mayce Collectibles on YouTube, a subscribed channel member, you're going to find yourself a free ticket into the next Mayce UFC draft. What is a UFC draft? Well, some of you might remember the first UFC draft we had. I believe that was over the summer. Tons of fun. People loved it. And it's free, so I don't know how you couldn't like it. But we're going to be doing that again as an appreciation, as a give back for all you who supported the channel. A lot of you guys have been channel members since I started, opened up the possibility to be a channel member. So in order to show my appreciation for that, we're going to be doing a special 2021 member draft for a Chronicles Hobby Box, and it's absolutely free to channel members. What does that mean? So everybody's going to get one spot. It's going to be a pick your fighter break, okay? And the way we do the draft is a lot like trivia. I feel like I'm yelling. I am yelling. The way we do the draft is it's very similar to trivia. I'll have 50 questions or however many fighters we decide to do, usually 50 in the past. So I'll have 50 trivia questions, and when you win the trivia question, instead of getting a free pack, you get to pick your fighter. So it's very advantageous to win early on to make sure you get the name that you get. But there's so many good names to be had, especially in 2021. As long as you get in there, hopefully you should have some good luck. So yeah, that's how it works. You'll pick your fighter, then you're locked in for that fighter. And when the break happens, and the break is going to be Thursday the 23rd. Thursday the 23rd of December, the time to come, it'll probably be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'll give you an update on that prior to it happening. But it will be Thursday the 23rd will be the group break for that. So whatever fighter you got in the draft, you simply get all their cards from the break. This is causing an issue here. I've knocked Valentina over twice. We can't be doing that. All right. So hopefully y'all are looking forward to that. And again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. All right, enough about me and the channel. Let's get into a little bit of news. We're going to cover a couple topics here of interest. Some of you may or may not know. And we're going to get into a little bit of card stuff, and then we're going to do a little bit of pick action, and then we're going to get into the giveaway. Felicia Spencer, I'm sure if you have a television, you've heard by now, Felicia Spencer has retired. Another one that makes me sad and kind of came out of the blue. Although this one, I kind of had a hunch. I wouldn't say I knew she was going to retire, but after her Amanda fight, I was kind of questioning it then. But then when she came back in her last performance, she was like ferocious. I've never seen her, like, she was applying so much pressure. It was just non-stop pressure from Felicia. She was fighting like it was her last fight. It makes tons of sense now in hindsight to be like, oh, okay. But even my daughter, who's 9, was talking about the pace that Felicia was fighting at in her last fight, because it was phenomenal. It was unlike anything I've ever seen from her. And it makes sense now that she, maybe at least in the back of her mind, knew that that was going to be it. So farewell to Felicia Spencer. Thanks for a great career. Thanks for giving us some good fights, and wish her all the best. I know her and her husband have started a roofing company, and her husband's a fighter also, so good luck to them. UFC 269 is this Saturday. I'm sure you're aware of that as well. Big time events in this on this card. I'm not going to get too into UFC 269. We're going to save that for Friday. I'm going to drop my picks then probably as well. Speaking of picks, hey, what other YouTube channel can you go to with 100% pick rate? It's not going to happen. Undisputed, undefeated, pound for pound, best channel on YouTube, Mayce Collectibles. We are 2 for 2, folks. We hit Font and Jamal Hill last week, and I am going to squeeze that for all it's worth because obviously that's not an undefeated record, and picks is not going to last for long. So let's gloat while we can, folks. We're undefeated. We have a 100% pick rate. All we do is make money. But anyhow, yeah, so we'll get into 269 this Friday more in depth. Of course, we got 2 title fights, Nunes and Pena, and Oliveira and Poirier. Really looking forward to that. There's a ton of good fights on this card. On 18 December, Lewis versus Dawkis. A lot of you know I'm a big Derek Lewis fan. This one makes me nervous. Chris Dawkis, talk about transformation of the year. He lost like so much weight between one fight and another. It's pretty unbelievable watching this guy transform and evolve into the fighter that he is today. So he's a dangerous guy for sure. He's proven that. And I definitely think he's going to be a problem for a long time. And this will be a big test for, a good test for both of them. They both got crazy knockout power. Dawkis is a little quicker, a little sharper on his boxing for sure. But of course, it only takes one from Derek Lewis to get things done. So we'll see what happens there. February 26th, it appears, Islam and Beneil Dariush are going to get it done finally. Of course, whoever wins that surely will get the title shot. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's the right fight to make. I feel like it's a good matchup. Both guys on big streaks. Great fighters. Both clearly title contender material. No question about that. But it's another one of those that's kind of like Glover Teixeira. Like, we got a guy in Dariush who, I'm not saying he's going to retire right away, but he's definitely on the other end of his career. And then you have the up-and-comer in Islam, and you just kind of hate to see it because you got Dariush with the Cinderella story. He's been in the UFC forever, and now here he finally makes it to the title shot, and he runs into Islam. You don't want to see Islam lose. At least I don't want to see Islam lose. I'm a huge Islam fan, and I have a ton of Islam cards, so I really don't want him to lose. But at the same time, you don't want to see Dariush fail. You know, it's nice to see those kind of guys realize their dreams, but we'll see what happens. Pretty nervous about that fight. I do think Islam wins that fight. I really do. Yeah. We'll get into that more later as well. Some technical difficulties there. But I believe we're good to go now. Where was I? March the 26th, Jan Blachowicz and Alexander Rakic are going to compete. It appears that has not, it doesn't look like that's been finalized yet, but it very well may be. But that is the matchup, and it appears it's going to go down March 26th. Pretty excited about that. That should tell us Yuri's probably going to get the title shot if that's not already signed, which is very exciting. A lot of people, a lot of hype behind Yuri Prochazka right now, so we'll see how that pans out. He's definitely got to up his defense. I mean, he's tough as nails. Clearly has the striking to get it done with anybody in the light heavyweight division, but he definitely needs to improve his defense. On the MMA Hour yesterday, John Kavanagh stated he likes 2 opponents for Conor's return. I found this rather interesting. Of course, the first one, Nate Diaz, that doesn't come as any kind of surprise. The trilogy's there. It's always going to be a huge money fight when those 2 guys get together and exciting. Of course, they're 1-1, so they got to have the trilogy anyway. It'd be a nice send-off fight for Nate. I'd like to see him get paid as much as possible. The other one kind of surprised me a little bit, but they went with Tony Ferguson, so we'll see. This is nothing set in stone. Nothing's been signed, anything like that. This was just John saying who he'd like, who interests him for Conor's return. So we've got Diaz and Ferguson. I'm down to watch either one. I'd really like to see Tony Ferguson get a win against anybody. It's tough seeing him take those last 2 fights, especially the Gaethje fight. I tried to rewatch the Gaethje fight last night, and I can't watch it, man. I hate seeing Tony take that kind of damage. It's horrible. Hate to see anybody take that kind of damage, but it was rough seeing Tony take that kind of damage. Very strange. Hey, one of my favorites, shout out to the preacher's daughter, Holly Holm. She's been inducted into the 2022 International Boxing Hall of Fame. I think that's fantastic. Congrats to Holly Holm. I think that covers all the news that's coming up quick here. Yeah, that should be good. I just want to answer an email. Let's get into cards here a little bit. I get an email a lot about like what cards should I avoid, probably as much as what cards should I collect. I get the email of like what cards are the worst cards out there. And, you know, this is such a, it's really going to depend on the person and also what you mean in terms of the worst set out there, the best set out there. As far as value goes, I'm going to tell you like this. In my opinion, this is my opinion, the worst set that was ever created was Top of the Class. I think that's currently the worst valued set. I think it's currently the worst priced sealed product set, etc. If I were to give you any advice on about a card set to avoid, I would say do not buy sealed Top of the Class. Sleeper sets, I'm always going to go, what sleeper sets are out there? I wouldn't say that Chrome is a sleeper set, but every chance I get, I'm always going to recommend collecting 17 through 19 Chrome. Anything 17, 18, 19 Chrome. Of course, there are a lot of other sets that are great from Topps. Some may even be more valuable. Of course, Round 1, Bloodlines, etc. We get into this all the time. Some of the knockout sets are really nice and highly collectible. But Chrome, I'll always take the chance to recommend Chrome, especially to the general population. It's an easy set to get into, easy set to find, and the prices are pretty reasonable in my opinion when you're talking about terms of potential future value. Of course, I'm not making any claims as to what the future value could be of Chrome, but again, I'll always recommend for those of you who are asking about sets to collect, 17, 18, 19 Chrome will never steer you wrong, and anything from Panini in the first year, not a bad idea. What to do with your base cards? We see this a lot. I wish I would have brought it with me. So people are like, what do I do with my base cards? What do I do with my base cards? So what I do, I really should have, I don't think I have one around me right now. I'll take and just take all the base cards and you put them in numerical order, okay? And then you break them down into 20 cards per stack. And each stack, 20 card stack, will fit nicely and safely into a team bag. If you don't have team bags, go back and watch my supplies video. I talk about team bags. I'll probably make another video coming up. We'll discuss it in one of the shows about what supplies you can get, because a lot has changed. The supply world has evolved and prices have evolved a lot, which is great for us. So we'll get into that maybe in a show next week. But 20 cards of the Chrome stock thickness is the right number to put in a team bag. So break them down, like say 2019 Chrome, that's a 100 card set. There's 100 cards in that base set. So you would take and make 5 stacks, 1 through 20 for each, put them in numerical order, put each of those in a team bag. First of all, penny sleeve them all, then throw them in a team bag, okay? Then you've got 5 team bags that hold nicely an entire set. And then you take that and you put it into, you know, the packs that I do, like the cards in or the trivia in, those packs, those will hold 5 stacks, 100 cards of, or 5 team bags of 100 cards of cards. So that's what I do, and then you can put them in there. If you have a heat sealer, great, do that. If you don't, if you have a girlfriend who has a curling iron or a flat iron or whatever it's called, you can seal them that way. And that's what I do. I seal them in there. They stay super protected from any kind of air moisture. You should have a dehumidifier in whatever room you're collecting your cards in anyway. That's extremely important. Probably the #1 piece of equipment you can own as a collector is a dehumidifier. You've got to control humidity. I'm crazy about humidity. Got to keep that under lockdown. That's a good way to get a lot of cards, a lot of value ruined. Same with gloves, like if you collect signed gloves and all that, you got to really control humidity. But anyhow, by putting them in all that packaging, they'll stay in pristine condition and you can just tuck them away. You can fit a ton of those bags in just a box and tape up the box and put it away. There's nothing wrong with taking 20 base sets and keeping them in pristine condition and putting them away. That's what I do, and that's what I highly recommend that you do, because there's a lot of value that comes back to that, especially when you have the whole base set and you can just sell it as one product as opposed to like trying to sell base set singles, which there's nothing wrong with that. But anytime you sell a set as a complete set, you're going to gain more value there. So that's what I do with my base cards. Let's get into today's giveaway. Boy, I've been busy this week, folks. I was hoping to get a lot more stuff in today's show, but got a ton of stuff to do. We've got a ton of stuff to ship for trivia. But let's get into today's giveaway. I've got two nice ones for you here. If you would like to win these cards, please comment down below and let me know who you think is going to win between Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier at UFC 269 this Saturday. Who do you think is going to take it? Let me know who, and let me know why you think that. I enjoy reading other people's perspectives, even though sometimes they're horrible. But here we go. If you would like to win either of these following cards, please do that. You'll automatically be entered for a chance to win, and I'll show the winners on the next video. The first card we're going to be doing today is going to be from 2021 Panini Chronicles UFC and Amanda Nunes season ticket, red. A red numbered to 149. Hopefully the camera can pick that up there. I'll beckon my pretend cameraman, get a good shot of that. Pretend like our production is much higher value than it truly is. Nice card there. And the other one we're going to give away, this is a nice one. Little man, this is a nice one. This is also going to be from Chronicles. It's the national pride of our man Nogueira. How about a Nogueira auto? Nice card there. Make a great addition to any UFC card collection, and it can be yours for free. Simply just comment down below. Let me know who you think is going to win between Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier this weekend, and you will have a chance to win. Again, I apologize that we're not getting into a whole lot today. I want to save the picks and really digging into UFC 269 for this Friday, but I wanted to bring you all that important information about the dates and the changes of times of the show and trivia. But we're going to keep this schedule, and we're going to push the schedule as hard as we can. Please tell your friends, etc., anybody, your mailman, anybody that you meet about UFC cards, and preferably this channel. And we'll continue to grow this thing. We're going to get fighters on here. I can guarantee, I'm making the prediction now, I can guarantee in 2022 we will interview fighters. We'll have fighters. We'll have athletes on the show in some form or fashion. I guarantee it in 2022. So hang with me, folks. Hey, those of you guys who have been around since the Mayce Collectibles, making a video on the floor of the basement of the dungeon, as we used to call it in the old setup, in the old place that we were at. Man, I really appreciate y'all. It's been, what, about almost a year and a half now, about a year and a half we've been grinding this channel. This is a small hobby, guys. It's a small hobby, which is a good thing because it means it has the most room for growth, but it is a very small group of people. So, you know, I don't think that the channel, you know, we're never going to get to 1 million subscribers or something like that, or probably, I wouldn't think we'd even get close to 100,000. So I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about growing the hobby as much as possible and just bringing more evolution of this. You know, if I do my part to try to make this show and move forward what others have done, and then hopefully maybe somebody will take what I'm doing someday and, you know, evolve it even further. And just, I'd really like to see this thing going. It's where my heart and soul is in MMA, without a doubt. Pretty much the only thing I give a shit about other than my family. But anyhow, yeah, that's going to do it, folks. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you tune in. We got a lot of exciting upcoming events. But I'll see you right back here on Friday for number 3. Mayce UFC Card Show number 3 already. We're moving right along. UFC 269 this Saturday. We'll get into it. Appreciate you, folks. Make sure you take care out there. It's getting cold. Be safe. And I'll see you next time. Take care.